Hey, my name's Kirk McDow, founder of the Challenge Call, a personal and professional coach. I want to talk to you a little bit about job interviews. I see a lot of posts on LinkedIn related to job interviews. I was a headhunter for over 10 years, and I have something to say about preparing candidates for a job interview. So here it is. One thing is what people are looking for are performers. Performers. It's a common axiom in business that 20% of results, I'm sorry, 80% of results get created by 20% of the Salesforce team, whatever. Doesn't have to be sales related, but there are performers in the world, and there are people who just kind of show up and do their thing, follow orders maybe, but what employers are looking for are performers, like the top 10% maybe, and so when you're in an interview and when you're constructing a resume, okay, so this is highly related, you want to really get focused in on numerically specific accomplishments. That's pretty straightforward in a sales environment. How much prospecting, percentage increase, dollar increase, year in, year out, whatever. There's lots of things you can point to that are numerically specific. In some other positions, it maybe take a little creative thinking, but you can talk about numerically specific volume of work you did, a numerical impact on the company, a profit impact on the company. If you think about it, you can find 3 or 4 to 10 or 20 numerically specific accomplishments that specifically point to you as a performer. So what you're really looking for are things that you can distinguish or elicit or draw out of your background and experience that point to you as one of those performers out there, that 10% or that 20% out in the workforce who are really getting it all done. So managers are pretty savvy with that. If you've managed people for a while, it starts to show up pretty clearly that some people are interested in performing and some people are just interested in showing up and not getting fired. And that's all beautiful. I don't have a judgment about that. But if you're the manager, you're for sure looking for the performer, right? So that's one thing. Really do the thinking to distinguish where in your background points to that you are a performer. So that's one thing. The second thing is managers are people, and people want to be around other people that they can respect, with whom there's a good chemistry, on the same page, same values, similar worldview, et cetera, et cetera. So you really got to connect to that's a person over there, and that person wants to connect with other people for whom it's good for them to connect with. So you want to create a commitment and a conversation that really has that person over there get that you've got their back. Like if they hire you, you've got their back. You understand what their objectives are. You understand what their priorities are. You understand what they're dealing with, and you're ready to go to work, and you got their back. Okay, and that's kind of a personal commitment in a sense. It might not be spoken that way, but that person's really considering if they hire you, are they going to be embarrassed? Are they going to be in trouble? Or is this company going to get sued because you're crazy or something? You do something that's whatever, right? So they just want to make sure that they're going to be taken care of in the decision to hire you, right? And then another thing is what managers are looking for is a match, for you and the position. Like, is it a good match? And one of the key mistakes I hear people make, used to hear people make all the time and still do sometimes, is in their conversation or the story about why they're here. Like, why are you here looking for a job? What happened to the last job? And how did you get to be here? You want to really, really, really pay close, careful attention to that you are moving towards something in your life and in your career that is great for you and it makes perfect sense, right? You're moving towards something, this industry, this company, this position, it's something that's great for you in your life and it's a perfect fit. And you want to get that fully, fully, fully communicated. The opposite way to handle that is to talk about something that you're moving away from. Something about the industry, something about the company, something about the manager, something about the product, something about the whatever, the management team or the overall approach or whatever. If you're in a job interview, in that moment at least, you're not moving away from anything, you're moving towards. Think about that from the manager's point of view. if you're the manager, do you really want somebody who's trying to get away from something, or do you want somebody who's focused in on what you have to offer? The answer is obvious, and make sure you're in that second category. You're moving towards something that you're excited about, and it's a perfect fit for your career and your life. And so there was one more thing. Let me just pause for a moment. Okay, I remembered, and this is funny. It's perhaps one of the most important things. Managers are looking for a desire, like enthusiasm, interest. Managers want to hire people who really want the job, who really want to be there, who really want to get in the game. And oddly enough, more experienced candidates often flub this horrifically, which is a candidate goes in. So I used to deal with real high-level sales candidates. Salespeople being what they are, I'm in that category. Was most of my life. Pretty confident bunch. If you have a track record, you're confident, you're cocky, you know who you are, you're going to bring value, and you're what they're looking for. Even if that's not true, that's how salespeople think. And so if that type of mentality going to an interview is going to have a slightly more prove to me this is the position, that I want. Salespeople often go in, high-level people, successful people, candidates will go into an interview waiting for the company to prove that they're a good match, for the candidate. That does not work. Let me underline that. Bold, red, big font, italicized, underline, doesn't work. Here's why it doesn't work. The company has no interest in whether or not they're a match for you until they decide you're a match for them. Unless you're what somebody's looking for, they're not interested if you're looking for them. Do you know what I mean? You got to get the value established where you are, so they now have an interest in courting you for the position. So first things first, get them wanting and loving you, and really make it clear for them that their company cannot survive without you. And then you want to make them dance a little bit. That's fine, or just get a little deeper into how this opportunity matches you and your career and how much of a fit it is. That's all fine. But first things first, just like in a sales situation, you go in, you establish the value, and then you talk about the price. So if you're not a salesperson, listen for and map on what I'm talking about in your position. You're a high level anything, or you're a successful anything. You might go in expecting them to prove something to you. Do not do that. Do not do that. Get the offer and then make the choice. Oh, along with that, do not go into an interview in an evaluation mode. You're going into an interview to get the offer, period, end of story. If you don't want the position, don't take the offer, no problem. No one's trying to handcuff you into a job you don't want, but get the offer first. You don't have an option until you get the offer. The choice is not yours until you earn that offer. Get in there, earn the offer, and then choose. All right, that's what I got for job interviewing. I hope it's helpful. Thank you very much. And signing off, Kirk McDow, The Challenge Call. Take care. Bye-bye. Good luck on your next interview.